morning, delivery fam, and welcome back to another episode of Breakfast with UDM on the Life of a Gig Worker podcast. And I know we've been gone for, you could say, about 2 months now, but and right now I'm by myself, right? I get it, but we're gonna get back to the regular routine, and some things are gonna change around a bit. But once we have everything set, we'll let you know, okay? But there's two major things I want to talk about today. All right. The first one is the downside of being too transparent as a content creator in the gig space. And number two is a better way to avoid customer issues at the drop-off. Now, I don't want to hold you too long, but I really want you to tune into what I have to say. All right. Now, as a content creator, in order to show the real experience, I tend to go as far as I can to be as transparent as I can. Even down to having conversations with drivers that I meet in my market. You know, I've met drivers in Miami, Dania, West Palm Beach, Plantation, Fort Lauderdale. I've met drivers all over. And I even met a driver today while I was in Fort Lauderdale, well, actually more like Pompano Beach area. And they were interested in what app I was picking up for, which was a catering app. And I told them it's delivered. And they responded with, well, they're not accepting me. I don't know why. So it was a bit of a disappointing conversation for me, right? Because I don't want to hear any driver saying, oh, they didn't allow me on the platform. It kind of makes me feel like, damn, now they're missing out. But they told me that they were on a waiting list. And to be honest, it's first come, first serve in this type of industry, right? If you don't make it on the list or being able to use the app when it's when they need it, when they need drivers as much as possible, then you're just going to have to be on that waiting list. But I really want to tell you something. Being a content creator, it really has its ups and its downs. Many people feel, hey, you go ahead, show us how to do this. Do a tutorial. Do a video. Tell us about these apps. Tell us the good, the bad, the ugly. And that's great. No problem. But sometimes they want to see what the process is like. They want to see how much you get paid. Now, me being in a very good market for catering, it caused me to feel a little weird in certain situations, talking to some drivers by phone, by email, and it kind of makes them upset. And I don't like the fact that me sharing the information that they're seeking, answering their questions with full transparency, it causes them to get upset. I really don't like that. Meaning, it causes them to compare themselves to me to them, their account to mine. And if things don't seem to be adding up, it just feels wrong. Because now, because I shared too much, it made them get upset. Now, I understand there are frustrations with DoorDash, Uber Eats, Deliver That, even Delivered. Seeing that driver today, they just seeing how down they got because they could not get on the platform. It just really made me feel some type of way. And maybe you may understand, maybe you may not. But being a content creator in this space, I have tried to help as many people as possible. And since we've gotten to that point of not being able to help because there's now a waiting list, that hits me in the gut really hard. And when a driver is comparing their experience to my experience, and on Deliver That, I'm an elite driver, and Delivered, I'm an elite driver over there as well. Knowing that we're going to have two separate experiences and being in this market versus drivers in other markets, and they're calling me trying to figure out, hey, how was your experience? And their experience is completely the opposite. It really gets to me. and I'm just being open and honest here, full transparency, right? We're going to have to share this moment where it may be a bit emotional for me. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to cry. No. But what I'm saying is the tone is a bit emotional for me because as a content creator that's been trying to help drivers for years, imagine I show offers where I get paid a decent amount of money and they haven't seen an offer like that in forever or ever. Some drivers wouldn't even want to have the conversation with me because they know my experience is completely different from their experience. So the excitement that one driver, not me, on your end, you may be excited to share something with me, and I will be excited for you. No matter if you get paid more than I've ever gotten paid on an order or whatever. But if I were to share something with you and you have not received what I've received, you may feel some type of way. I can't share that same excitement that you would share with me if you got something great. If I shared that excitement, it turns into, damn, now you're comparing yourself to me, your account to mine, your market to mine. And that's the downside of being too transparent. As a driver, I would love to share, but I can't. I would love to be open and honest like you are with me, but I can't. I just can't. Just think about what I'm saying. If you compare your experience to mine, I'm in a tier 1 market with, let's say, Deliver That, right? I'm in a tier 1 market and you're not. But if you want to see a ride along and you're seeing I am making a certain amount of money and you're barely making peanuts, you may feel some type of way. So I'm against ride-alongs for that purpose, for that reason. Which is why on my other channel, I stopped with the YouTube shorts. I stopped posting because I realized, man, the more I post, the more people get upset. And I'm just posting and sharing the experience of the pickup and drop off. What am I picking up? How am I packing it up? But many people wanted to see the pay so they could compare themselves to me, which is not okay. I don't care how you cut the cake. It's not okay. You want to see how much more better I am at this than you. You want to see how much more I get paid than you. Why? Why is that? Why is that a necessity? It should not be. At this point, if we've had many conversations about doing this line of work, we don't need to have more conversations about it because you are an expert as well as I am. So we don't need to have conversations about this line of work. But if we're friends or we're cool like that, we could definitely just chop it up. Hey, man, I had this experience, yada, 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 yada. But to share stats or to share money that was earned and not earned or anything like that is just not a good idea anymore. Not for me. Because I always get the shit end of the stick. I feel bad because the experience is not the same on the other side. Now, don't get me wrong. I've also seen the content, not just on my channel, the content in the comments section, the hate for good experience or positive experiences, it has gone to shit. Not everywhere, not every comment, But it seems more hateful when a content creator in the gig space posts something that they consider to be a win, a W. Other people will probably contact me or share emails or whatever. Why is this person getting it and I'm not? And then the conversation turns into, it's because they're a content creator. And what happens to me? I get put into that boat as well, even if I am known for being completely transparent. It turns into something completely different. It turns into something emotional because everyone wants a piece of the pie. Let's do an experiment real quick. You ready? I hope you're ready. How does this make you feel? By the time you're watching this video, it will be the day of. I'm recording this before, but I received this, and both of these orders are going to the same exact customer. Me showing you this amount right now. Some of you that may be having the same experience as I am, you're probably going to be as excited as I am to complete these two orders going to the same customer. But how does this make you feel? Be honest and put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. If you want to be on an anonymous account, fine. Let me know how you feel about seeing this amount one driver is going to make on the same day. I don't feel like that's necessary. Why make you feel like I'm better than you when I'm not? My experience is just different than yours. If we do share the same market, it's because I'm ahead of you. Meaning, I signed up before you. I got started before you. I made a name for myself before you. And if I made a name for myself before you, and I have all kinds of customers contacting the companies to try to get me to deliver their stuff, that means I'm just ahead of the game. Now, I don't want you to feel bad about it. But if I have to put this up on the screen every video, or I have to do a ride along, this is a bad idea. Now, I know some of you will probably be like, man, get that money, UDM. Shout out to you. But at the same time, those that want to make something, they can't make it. They might be watching from another market, and they would probably even love to just get this $115.83. But here I am showing, being too transparent, showing I'm going to get two from the same pickup going to the same drop off. How would you feel? I don't think that's right. Now, I know when something first comes to be, it feels great. Like, oh man, look at what I made on this. But too much of it comes off as bragging, comes off as boasting. And who wants to make another person feel bad? I know I don't. That shit really eats me up inside. I'm just being 100 with y'all. Because I came onto this platform, YouTube, now on Spotify too, wherever you're listening. Okay. But I came onto this platform to help people learn about another way to make money versus just going to a regular W-2. If they have a W-2 that they want to keep and they want to make some extra because everything was getting more expensive and it was just getting more tough, here's a side gig that you could get into, and let me show you how to make this money. I got really good at it. I got so good at it, there's people that wanted me to leave the gig space on YouTube and just say, man, do something else. But I'm like, nah, this is my lane. This is my thing. Some other content creators went off and started doing their own thing, like something completely different. But this is still my thing. Now, this is called the Gig Work Podcast. Why you think? Because this is my lane. This is my thing. Now, it's not just for me to just talk about what's going on with gig apps and how to make money and yada, 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 yada. It's to show you the experience. It's to talk about the experience. And I don't only want it to be my experience. I want it to be everyone's experience. Now, until things change in other markets, there's no way that you're going to have the same experience as I do if you're in a different market. If we did not start at the same time, it doesn't even matter if you get a trucking job, driving trucks, there's seniority. If you sign up for an app, I'm just saying, I'm using that as an example. If you sign up for an app that I signed up for years in advance before you, your experience will be different than mine, especially if they have a tier system. Your experience will be different than mine. Now, there's something that we really need to focus on, okay? And that's making it work as best as we can, no matter what the situation. If we focus more of our energy on making whatever we have work as best as we can make it, I think we would be better off. All of us, content creators, drivers that do DoorDash, Uber Eats, Spark, Instacart, Dumpling, working for themselves, Roadie, whatever app that's out there. I truly believe that drivers would do better. It would feel better. Now, before I go into the next topic, I don't want you to develop a hate for the content because your experience is different than mine, or my experience is different than yours, or your market is different than mine. The comparison, constant comparing is not going to be good for you because I'm just fine. Hear me out. If you're going to constantly compare yourself to my experiences, you're going to be upset. You're going to not want to watch the content. You're going to not want to even participate because you know what the results will be. Don't compare. How do you be better for you? Not for me, for you. I want you to be better for you. If that's going to get a W-2 because this just isn't working for you anymore, shout out to you. Salute. Once upon a time, I used to try to prevent people from going back to a W-2 because of the W-2 I came from. $700 every 2 weeks? I don't want to go back to that. I got kids to take care of. And in this day and age, I cannot afford to make $700 every 2 weeks. I can't afford it. Am I in a better position now than I was years ago when I decided to leave my last job? Yeah. It wasn't really my last job because I did get a job after that. But anyway, the school system, back in whatever year that was, I forgot. It's so long now. But would I ever go back to it? If I absolutely had to, with the experiences that I'm having now, I still would not go back to the school system. Notice what I just said. If I absolutely had to, I'd rather go find something else to do because I know what my experience was like. I'm not saying that working there, the experience was terrible. It was difficult, but it wasn't terrible. It's what got me to the point that I got to at that time. So there was positives. It's all about finding the positive in what you currently have. At that time, I didn't have any kids. And then, boom, when my first son, when my wife got pregnant with my first son, it was like, yo, I got to make some bread. I got to get some dough. I got to go. I can't be making $700 every 2 weeks now. And then when he was born, and I realized at one point his insurance was $700 a month, and it was coming out of my paycheck, and I would have to survive off of $700 for the month, I had to find something else. Some of you may already know this story. Some of you may just be hearing it for the first time. And if you made it this far listening, just leave a comment letting me know that you made it this far. But don't compare yourself to me. Don't compare yourself to other drivers. I met a driver the other day asking me how much was I going to be paid on the order that I was on. I chose not to tell him, and he got upset with me. Why get upset with me over me not telling you how much I'm making? Why is that a thing? But at the same time, if I went and I opened up my job history or order history on any of the apps that I have, it would probably upset him. It probably would. But I don't know that. But the fact that I would not tell him, he was upset. Clearly, he didn't even want to talk to me anymore. But I said, it's cool. But I know what this can turn into. And I don't want it for you. I don't want you to stress over what you're not making versus what I'm making. And if it's just that stressful for you, then maybe you could find another way. Maybe get off of YouTube. But then again, you would stop watching the content. I don't want you to stop watching the content because content's great, in my opinion. I rewatch it sometimes. I listen to it sometimes. Not all the time, but I do. Just not a good idea to show the pay, to be too transparent. I think I should hold things back, especially the pay. Because if it's bad for you, then you will suffer in silence. You won't let me know, but it will be eating you up inside. So, don't ask me anymore to share how much I'm getting paid, because I will tell you I'm not telling you. Doesn't matter if we are friends or not. This is for everyone. This is something that I'm doing for myself in 2025. This is my New Year's resolution. This is my thing, okay? So please, I just beg you, if we are friends and you do have my personal number, don't ask me how much I made. If you wish to share how much you're making, don't expect me to share how much I'm making, okay? Because I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to share anything account related as far as like my delivered account, my deliver that account, any of the catering apps accounts. I'm just not going to share it. It's not healthy for you. At least I don't feel it's healthy for you, because at some point you're probably not going to want to have that conversation with me. And you're probably not going to keep it real with me either to let me know that you're really bothered by me making so much money. So, can we move on now? All right. So, I want to let you know to appreciate the opportunities you do have, okay? Appreciate the opportunities that you do have. Do not get caught up in any other situations. Appreciate the opportunities that you do have. Find the gold in it. Find the positive in your current experiences as we move on to the next. A better way to avoid customer issues at drop-off. Most times, now this section is going to be pretty short, okay? But check this out. You know, the number one issue most times I find is the lack of communication between driver and customer, because the restaurant sealed everything and they just hand it to us and try to get rid of us in some kind of way. Like, I don't want to deal with this guy. Just take it. These 2 bags. Goodbye. Sign this paper right here. Goodbye. The number one issue I feel is the lack of communication between driver and customer, because we're kind of like left in the dark in the catering sense. Let me show you something. This order came through, and obviously it was delivered, and it paid me $110. If you can't see earning, zoom in a little bit there. Okay. January 7th, 2025. You may look at this picture and you may say, oh, there's nothing wrong with that picture. No, of course not. Let's zoom in a little bit more. All right. There's nothing wrong with that picture, right? Nah. To you, it's not. But the customer was livid, pissed beyond measure. Okay. Now, let me tell you why. You see, the far left of your screen, you got like 3 kind of bowls, type of platter type of things, right? Those have wraps, okay? And obviously you see the salad platter. Well, there's 2 salad platters and the chicken in the middle of them, right? Then you have the toppings, like the middle of the table, and then you have the sauces towards the back, and then these bowls right here. You see these bowls? Oh, she was pissed. And another thing that's wrong with this picture is the lack of utensils, serving utensils. Okay. Now, the customer was pissed because they wanted a salad bar, not individual salads. They wanted a salad bar, not individual salads. And these little bowls right here, there's like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, maybe about 20 individual bowls with individual salads. And the customer was not happy. What could I have done to avoid a situation like this? I could have called the restaurant. Not restaurant. I could have called the customer before I left the restaurant to give them a brief idea of what I received before I arrived. I am basically, and many of us do this, basically trusting whatever the restaurant tells me, that's what it is. When we arrive at the customer, I didn't order this shit. No, I'm gonna have to get in contact. Can you hold on for a second, please? Because I need to get in contact with such and such and what are we gonna be able to do? Nothing. We stand there looking like a little sad puppy or a little bit agitated because they won't let us leave. Or we might give a little bit of slick talk back because we know we're not supposed to go back to the restaurant, right? Whichever version of those drivers that I just mentioned, whichever one you are, check this out. All of this could have been avoided if I just called the customer ahead of time to find out what the hell that what the hell I'm bringing. Just to verify. Think about it. Who's wrong in that sense? Who did the wrong thing? The customer actually showed me how they placed the order, what they wanted, the notes they left. They showed me. And ladies and gentlemen, they did not pay little bitty money for it. They left me a decent sized tip for me to earn $110. And they felt so bad for the attitude that they were giving me because I was just so nice. I was so nice to the lady. She gave me $40 cash. She said, I am so sorry. Usually I'm not like this, okay? And I know this is not your fault. I know you have nothing. There's no paperwork. You don't have anything. But this is what I ordered. And I wanted it to be this way for a specific reason. And this is what you showed up with. So I'm sorry. The messenger gets shot. We were just laughing after the fact. But she would not let me leave without giving me an additional $40 in cash. So the best way to avoid these types of situations, ladies and gentlemen, is to contact the customer in advance. I have another story to tell. And this other story is very short, but just listen. I get to a restaurant, catering order, and I said, hey, some customers would like to, I said, hey, are there any utensils? They said, nope, they didn't order any utensils. So, nope. I said, well, in my experience, some customers kind of like expect serving utensils. Maybe not eating, but serving utensils for the food that they, the platters and stuff that they ordered. Some customers also don't even know that they have to order a catering kit. And the catering kit comes, I don't know exactly what it comes with, but I know it comes with the wire, the wire things that you put the pans inside of. Some of them expect that. So this customer, I didn't know who I was going to, okay? But I know when I received the food, they said they didn't order any utensils. So nope, they're not getting any. Okay, no problem. When I get to the customer, they had no utensils. No serving utensils. Someone from their staff had to leave to go to the nearby store to then buy some plastic ones or whatever to then be able to serve the people that they were going to feed. And it was a meeting. When a person is running a meeting or doing something and then they spend their money. I don't care where they get the money from. They spend their money for me to be able to now get paid to do this delivery. Let me repeat that. They spend their money for me to get paid to do this delivery. The least that I can do is verify with these people before I leave this damn restaurant, because, ladies and gentlemen, they need to be a happy customer when you arrive with their shit. If you arrive with their shit and it's not 100% there, after they spent all this money, and then for you to get paid, how much? Put that back up on the screen. $110? The least that I could have done before I left the restaurant. Hey, this is the catering driver. Just wanted to verify. Did you order some of individual bowls? Would you like some serving utensils? Because it says that you didn't want any serving utensils. But for future purposes, you may need to place an order for those things. Did you know you could place an order for that? Oh, no, I didn't know. Right. Well, what would I need to do to get serving utensils? Me? I'm just being honest here. Me, I just might buy it for them. Just to make sure that their experience is a great one. Just saying. I'm just saying what I would do. But the advice I'm giving you, whoever's tuned into this, as I wrap up here, contact the customer to verify, to make sure that everything that you have in your app is correct. And when I say this, I mean it. Sometimes the address is off. Sometimes the person, the point of contact, ain't even in this city. Sometimes the location that you think you got to drop it off to, that's old notes. Sometimes the zip code is wrong. The address is right, but the zip code is wrong. The other day, I had to deliver something 12 miles away. And guess who was pissed off? And it was a photo shoot. Guess who was pissed off? The customer. The zip code and the address was wrong, by the way. Imagine a 5-digit zip code and the person only put the last 3 digits. They completely left all the first 2. And then the app or whatever put the wrong zip code. Guess who got the shit end of the stick? I got cussed out. After I went there, after I arrived, they said they apologized because they realized that they were overreacting over something I had no control over. I even had to let the staff know. I had to deliver that. Matter of fact, give me a second here. Pause for a minute. I'm about to read this to y'all so you can know that I mean business. All right, now that I'm back, let me read this to you. This happened on Deliver That. I'm going to read this to you. I'm going to read their response, and I'm going to let you know how I closed it out, okay? Now, remember I just said that this person, they pretty much gave me a piece of their mind by phone, okay? So then I sent a message to Deliver That saying, just a heads up, the customer just called me being extremely rude because of the delay. Meaning the delay of the location the location that I arrived at with the wrong zip code and the wrong address. This new address is currently 12 miles away. And they wanted it there by the time that they wanted it there. And now an additional 20-something minutes to get there, they were pissed. So I get the shit end of the stick. So let me finish reading this. Just a heads up. The customer just called me being extremely rude because of the delay. I do not know what I'm about to experience when I get to the drop-off, but I just wanted to communicate. Deliver That responds with, Brian, calm, cool, collected. I think you're resilient and a pro. Let me know. Don't get me wrong. I feel like they were like gassing me up a little bit. Okay? They were trying to say all the right things to make sure I'm calm, cool. Get yourself together. Come on. Deep breaths, right? Woozah, right? But I'm communicating because of the experience I just had by phone. When I got there, they apologized to me because they then realized there was a lot more wrong with this entire thing and I had no control over it. But I still made it to them. I did not cancel their order. I did not do any of that stuff. I still brought it to them. I said, I set up as best as I could with the space I was given, and the customer apologized. They were frustrated because of the mix-up with the address because they said they entered it correctly. If the customer enters the address correctly and it still comes out to be wrong, wouldn't you be frustrated as well? If you know you entered it correctly and something still went wrong? I've had customers show me, just like this customer right here, the one I was talking about when it comes down to delivered. When I showed y'all this, the customer showed me what they placed, the notes. They showed me. And the restaurant still got it wrong. Would you not be upset? So, to avoid any issues at the drop-off, give them a ring. As soon as you got it, give them a ring. Verify where you got to drop it off to. Verify the address. Verify who you're going to be dropping it off to. Verify what you picked up. I got a bunch of aluminum pans. I got stories to tell. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you one more. I had an order going to Amazon. They wanted individual bowls. It was a very large order. And this was on another catering platform. It wasn't delivered or delivered that. When we arrived, they gave us pans. They gave us a bunch of pans. So now this other driver I never drove with, this other driver and I, we're driving to Amazon. When we get there, I guess the supervisor, like, hey, what is this? This is not what we ordered. I'm like, what do you say as a driver? This is what they gave me. Right? That's all we can do, right? This is what they gave me. Keep in mind, this was like about $3,500 worth of food. And they wanted it all individually packed because they wanted drivers to come in, grab their stuff, hit the road, or go about their business. That's how they wanted it done. But somebody effed up. And guess who got the shit end of the stick? The driver and I. I'm going to tell you, we had to go back and drop that shit back off at the restaurant. And the restaurant offered to pay the other driver because they had a decent sized van. They split up that order, but they didn't really have to split up the order because I could have taken it by myself or the other driver could have taken it by himself. But anyway, the restaurant decided to pay that driver. The app allowed the order to get canceled or whatever, but I still got paid. The other driver got paid. But the restaurant, for their fuck up, the restaurant decided to pay the driver to fix that order. Not for them to package it or anything like that. They would then fix the order the way that the client wanted it, and to have that driver to then re-deliver it to the customer. I was on my way home at that point, okay? But I'm just letting you know. It's probably best. The best advice is to give them a ring. Let them know. Verify the address that you have in the app because technology fucks up. Verify the notes that they have because sometimes the notes are outdated. It did not update for whatever the reason. Sometimes customers, they want specific things and you don't deliver it and they're like, wait, I asked for jasmine rice. Why did I get brown rice? Verify before you leave so you don't have some shit to deal with when you get there. And last piece of information, if there is a fuck up, let the app that you're delivering for, Zifty, Deliver That, communicate with the app to let them know there was a fuck up. Don't say fuck up, but there was a mess up and you now have to wait for them to fix it. If there's wait time pay that gets added, you now have a time stamp on the time that you communicated with the app to let them know that you now have to wait additional because the restaurant got to make this right. So, with that said, fam, in closing, stress only makes current experiences feel worse than they really are. I'm not saying you don't have a reason to be upset. In any situation, even if it's dealing with a customer, even if it's dealing with the restaurant or the app, the driver support, or a personal thing you're going through at that time or that day. Stress only makes current experiences feel worse than they really are. What do I mean by that? Okay. I know you asked that question, but I'm not going to be long-winded. If a stressful situation comes up and you can't do anything about it at that moment, why are you stressing over it? Get to it when you can, and it will be okay. It will be okay. Get to it when you can. But if you're stressing over it right now, it just happened, you just found out, and now you're stressing over it. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. What can you change? Nothing. Take a deep breath. I'm not saying to find a positive in it, but take a deep breath and get to it when you can. And last on the list here is, if you're low on funds, spend more energy on figuring out how to earn more. Not with what you're currently doing, or if there's an opportunity to earn more with what you're currently doing, seize the opportunity. But don't waste your time stressing over how bad your situation is if you're low on funds. If a bill is coming due, you should know in advance that a bill is coming due. Meanwhile, do what you got to do to figure out how to earn more. Put all your energy into that. I promise you, it will be beneficial for you. Don't put your energy into being upset over the fact that you're low on funds. You're low on funds, put your energy into making more, earning more. If there's an opportunity in the way in what you currently do, fine. If there's an opportunity outside of what you currently do, fine. Seize the opportunity until you are now in a more stable situation. And that's it, fam. So I know I talked your ears off a lot, but I just had some stuff to say. I feel like, 2025 is, we all become goal oriented as soon as the new year hits, right? New Year's resolutions. So I feel like it's the right tone to have this conversation with y'all, even if it's still, the date that I'm recording this is January 14th, but you're going to hear it on January 16th. Okay? Be better for you. Be better for your family. Be better for all the people around you. Push out as much positive energy as you can, and find the best in every situation. If you can't find it, maybe have a friend that you could talk to help you find the best in situations that seem a bit stressful. If you don't have friends that can help you find the best in situations that seem stressful, maybe tune into some positive music, some positive podcast, or something that is motivational and enlightening and inspirational and all the ationals. Okay? Find something to get you back on track, because it's needed. Because you're going to waste energy and time on the things that are not going to get you where you're trying to go. And on that note, I'm going to leave you be, and be blessed. And I'll see you in the next episode. Deuces. Oh, yeah. What time it is, D-Fam? Yeah. It's time to, go get your money.